380 abortions that happened in New York State alone in 2017, and 31.4% of all pregnancies ended in abortion in New York in 2017.
That's coming. Here you go.
You can go right to the next slide.
Wait, we're having.
You don't have to put it. You don't have to put it in that. It's better to go to the next one in the non-presentation mode. That's fine.
Okay. You can do that.
I think it's big enough for everybody can read.
We don't ever have this many technical problems. Okay.
Okay, that's fine.
All right.
Yeah, that's fine. Next slide then.
Look at it.
Oh yeah, but it's still churning. It looks like.
So the picture on your left, there are 5 stars. Those are the local Planned Parenthood offices in the North Country that offer abortion. The picture to the right are 2 pregnancy health centers, one in Canton, one in Plattsburgh. They're each an hour away from us in Saranac Lake. Canton is a little bit further. Neither of those facilities are under the direction of a medical director or employ registered nurses, which we will get to that in our services that we offer. But they do not use ultrasound, which we recognize is so important in what we do. With those statistics in mind, Hebrews 10:39 says, "We are not of those who shrink back." And we won't. That is why we exist. So here is our mission statement: to empower any woman who is facing an unplanned pregnancy, supporting her with compassion and thorough information as she navigates her options. And our vision: to be the first step for women facing an unplanned pregnancy, serving them with excellence and truth and God's love. We will provide comprehensive information in a confidential setting while attending to any physical, emotional, or spiritual need. And our main goal is to turn her fear into confidence. So these are the medical services that we will offer. What is going to make Adirondack Pregnancy Center different from many pregnancy health centers around the nation? We were blessed in our early days to travel around to different pregnancy help centers where we got to learn from them, receive from them, and it shaped who we wanted to be and what we felt we needed here in our area. One of the things that we heard pregnancy centers saying over and over again is that while they had many women coming in to receive resources, they were missing the abortion-minded and abortion-vulnerable woman. We recognize that in our area, there are a lot of resource centers available for people to go for help with material needs. If they need help with diapers or formula, there's a lot of that help available in our area. And we decided that we wanted to be laser focused on that abortion-minded woman, that we were offering her the services that she needs at the very moment that she needs them. She may not be even thinking about how is she going to afford diapers. She may be thinking, I'm pregnant, I'm afraid, I don't know what to do. What am I going to do about that? So here we will be to offer professional medical services, like I said before, under the direction of a medical doctor. Dr. Ryder out of Long Lake will be our medical director. We have hired 3 registered nurses that will provide lab quality pregnancy testing, limited obstetric ultrasound, STD testing and treatment if a woman is pregnant and she is abortion vulnerable. That's a really important thing to take into consideration because STDs can give her pelvic inflammatory diseases if she did choose to move forward with abortion. And we will offer abortion pill reversal, which is huge. I just got back from a week in Columbus where I took a class on the abortion pill reversal, which is really a miraculous thing. Many women will start, so many of the abortions that are provided in our area through Planned Parenthood are chemical abortions. So you go into the office and they'll give you a pill, which the first pill is actually what kills the baby. Many times a woman will take the first pill and walk out to her car and say to herself, what have I done? and the guilt starts to set in. Maybe she thinks that she wishes she hadn't done it. What can I do now? I already took the pill. There is a way to counteract that, and it's very simple: progesterone therapy. And many, many babies have been born through that progesterone therapy. The doctors can start them on these pills, which can counteract that very first pill. And I got to meet a little boy that was born as a result of the abortion pill reversal. So we're really excited to be working with our doctor to offer that service. Women will never receive a bill from the Adirondack Pregnancy Center for anything, because all they should have to focus on is making the best choice for them and for the life inside of them. So in speaking before, when I said that we were laser focused on the abortion-minded woman, it's not that we are not going to offer resources. We are going to. But we are looking to our local churches to help us with that. So we will offer parenting classes, relationship classes. We will offer post-abortion counseling. And women will be able to utilize resources, going into the local churches. We have 2 right now that have joined us that are going to be have mommy markets. So women can go into the local church, which is where they should go to have those material needs met. Be introduced to the local body of Christ, meet other Christians in the area. So we're really excited. So far we have the Lake Placid Pilgrim Holiness Church and its Saranac Lake High Peak Church through their thrift shop have stepped up to join us in that. I'm really excited to say that we knew that we needed a ultrasound machine. Now, we had been graciously gifted an ultrasound machine from a pregnancy help center in central New York. We got it home and realized that it was 16 years old, and many of the things that we wanted to do with it, like sending our scans to our doctor, needed more modern technology. So we prayed about it, and we wrote a grant to Preborn, which is a ministry, and we received the grant. So we just received a $30,000 ultrasound machine, state-of-the-art ultrasound machine. It came in last week, so we're very excited about that.
Okay.
Lisa's our treasurer, so she gets the benefit of talking to you about the financial
I don't know if it's
information.
benefit, but I think we all know that everything takes money. Everything we do takes money. And you heard Jennifer say that the last thing we want a woman to do is worry about how she's going to pay something or she doesn't have insurance or anything like that. So what we do is going to take money. This is our first year estimated expenses. It includes a $30,000 remodel of the site we're going to do. I'm going to talk a little bit about the site where we're going to be, and we're probably halfway through the remodeling of that, and so this budget includes that. It includes all expenses associated with salaries. If we want a professional medical office, we've got to pay our people, and they're not going to get comparable salaries that they can step out in the commercial market, but we're going to pay them for their time, and that's 3 registered nurses, a client services manager that will oversee all client services, and then, of course, our esteemed executive director. We have to pay training for sonographers. It's not cheap. That is a skill that we are going to give our registered nurses, and then they will, under the guidance and direction and the standing orders of our medical director, conduct the ultrasounds on our clients. We have chosen to rent by felt that was the most economical in starting up, and we got offered a very generous offer renting right in the heart of the village behind the Saranac Lake Hotel, or the Saranac Hotel. And it's about 800 square feet. It's the center, the first floor. There's an apartment upstairs and an apartment downstairs, and so we got a very good deal on that. However, so that's how we're probably going to open our doors. That building could potentially be bought in the future, and we would have the entire facility to expand. I think we were talking to you, your daughter-in-law, or something that works in Michigan,
It's actually my son here.
Oh, okay.
His mother-in-law.
Your mother-in-law, okay. Yes, she worked in a very large clinic. So a lot of people are familiar with pregnancy centers, and they're huge. They're big. We've come back to one in Omaha and Rochester and stuff, and these are very large centers. our little center right now is 800 square feet. It's sufficient to do what we want to do with the appropriate counseling space, the appropriate lobby, a beautiful ultrasound room and stuff, but it is small. And so the building that we are renting, the space we're renting, has the potential to enlarge and grow to that size if we, when God provides the funding. So we're excited about that. And it also includes a paid social media and website presentation. You do not reach the target audience that we want to reach without professional social media services. And so that comes at a pretty price, but it's a portion of our budget, a very large portion of our budget will be in marketing, so that when we have women that are considering abortion, or abortion determined, abortion money, or just vulnerable, that our facility will be the first one they find when they Google it. And our goal is that we would be their first step. So that's the expenses. Next slide. So talk a little bit about the space. So the building is up on the top right-hand side. That, if you walked out the back, if you're familiar with Saranac Lake at all, if you walk out the back of the Hotel Saranac, you would run into that. Right across the street is the Hotel Saranac with their parking garage and stuff. That door that walks in the corner, that walks into the facility, and that's the 800 square feet I was telling you about. There's an apartment upstairs, and there's a basement apartment. And God opens up windows and doors and basements because the tenant that was living in the basement just moved out. And so the board is in the process of trying to decide how we want to address that with the owner of the building, because we would love to then not rent that. But anyway, that's the space. There's at the right-hand side is a drawing of. I get excited about the building because it's real and tangible. So I want to show you. So you walk into this door, and that's the door right here. And this is our little foyer area. This is our reception area. This is our ultrasound room. And we have this was gutted down to the walls and the floors. So everything is not being studded out and drywall. This is our ultrasound room. This is our options counseling room, number 1. This is the executive director's office. It's a small closet.
Hence why we want that space downstairs.
Yeah, that's what we do. And then this is it'll be an alternate, we'll have the client service manager in there. It'll be an alternate options counseling room. It's a little bigger. We'll have a little space for filing cabinets and things like that. But otherwise, that's our space. So it's not big, but it's sufficient for now to open. And then you can see we had it all studded out just last week. In the last 2 weeks, we've had the drywall put in. And we're going to start mudding and taping. In fact, my husband's up there probably right now starting mudding and taping on those things that were finished. But you got a couple of volunteers. We had a whole volunteer crew right here from Albany come up, and they did most of the studying, doing the studs and the walls. They're all in the construction business, so they are now running their businesses. They did this in February when, their business wasn't great, but now everything, so we have lost that volunteer crew, but just a crew of 5 godly men from 5 different churches in Albany, and we love them. And then this gentleman here, who is directing everything, he's a volunteer. He also has a construction business, and he has volunteered to be our project manager. And so he's from Long Lake, and he's between the 3 of us, and we're orchestrating the events that are going on in there. So it's an all volunteer project. So that's it. That's our site.
Did I go too fast?
No. So we all know the Adirondack Park is huge. It's 6 million acres. We've got a lot of small communities and villages throughout the park. And Saranac Lake is kind of in the center there. There are a lot of places to reach in the park. And so our vision is the North Country. And so having a brick and mortar site in Saranac Lake, it may be inaccessible to a lot of women that may be in the southern tier there. And so our vision is a fully equipped medical service bus. And this is a bus that has a bathroom, a place to do an ultrasound, a place to do the options counseling. It's our little 800 square foot on wheels. And so if we get a phone call from any woman, we can make that appointment and say, we will be in your area tomorrow. Okay, we'll be in Long Lake tomorrow. We'll be in Speculator on Tuesday. I can book you there with it. And
or we'll be in Wilmington.
Or we'll be in Wilmington, yes. So that really is our vision. And the fact that we have a very small, the renting of the brick and mortar is small once we do and get it appropriate to move in. This makes this a little more accessible to us financially. So, and we just discovered the purchase price looks large, and it is, but there are grants out there for that also, and we Jennifer has also practiced at writing grants. So, but we discovered a rental for $1,000 a month too, so we could rent those things. So we're gonna open our doors. This is a good vision for us. Mm-hmm. The next slide is Malone. We have a huge support in place in Malone and interest in a satellite site in Malone. And we have spent all of April in Malone churches, yes, doing exactly what we're doing here. So they're excited about this. The support is there. And so we have our eye on a satellite center in Malone in the future. Next slide. So what are we asking from our churches? Well, the first thing we're asking is let us come and talk to you and tell you about what's happening, where we are, and you did that. So thank you very much, Pastor. We appreciate it, and for the whole church body for listening to us. Partner with us by becoming a supporting church and concurrent giving. We have almost like 10 churches now that have done that on a monthly basis, have prayed about it, and have become partnering churches, giving corporately as a body to us, and that it's been wonderful. Assign a church liaison to the pregnancy center. Sometimes pastors get really busy with a lot of different things on their plate, so to have a belly button in the church that says I'm it, and contact me, and I'll give the word to the church or to our congregation and work with the pastor to make that happen. That's great, and it will relieve the pastor being the point person for everything. So important, intercede in your prayer groups on Sunday morning on behalf of the center and our needs, as well as the clients. God knows who's going to walk through those doors. And finally, what we haven't done yet, because COVID kind of put a big stop to that, is host a table at our fundraising banquet. We had a huge banquet planned a year ago, next week or 2 weeks, and at the Hotel Saranac. We paid for the speaker, phenomenal speaker, and COVID just made that not happen. So not only was that a huge fundraising letdown, but we were excited about talking about what we were doing. And so usually at something like that, we get churches to host a table or 2 tables or 3 tables, and you bring them together, and we fill up the Hotel Saranac with 250 people, and we're able to talk about mission. So keep your ears open to that, because we're still going to make that happen. Next slide. What are our immediate needs? 2 weeks ago, we would have said, helping us put up sheetrock, but we got the sheetrock up. So that should be completed, most of it should be completed by Tuesday. So we need mudders and tapers. If you guys can mud and tape, we're ready to go with mud and tape. And like I said, my husband's probably up there this morning, mudding and taping, and he's not real good at it. So he says, I'll do the first layer. Someone else has got to come up with the second layer, because I guess the second layer is harder. And anyway, we need we're going to transition right into painting. If you like to paint, I'm not a professional painter, but I can paint, and I've painted walls, and so it doesn't take a whole lot of skill if you just want to paint. We'd love to have you to paint. The installing of floor is more of a professional thing. You've got to know how to do that. The floor will follow right after the paint.
What type of flooring?
Yes, sir. It's a laminate, wood laminate. It's got a soundproofing thing up underneath it. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Are you a florifer?
No, but everything else we do too.
We'll get your name and number before we leave today.
We actually specialize in HVAC though.
Oh, yeah, we don't need any of that. We're doing baseboard heaters. They're electric baseboard heaters. That's what came out of there. So, yeah. But thank you. We would love you to come help. All right.
Can I take this one?
Yes.
So our call to action. We may believe that abortion is wrong and an inhumane response to a social problem, but it is just as inhumane to tell a woman that abortion is wrong and then do absolutely nothing to help her. That is by the late Francis Schaeffer. So we're excited. We're ready. Our heels are dug in. We're going to do this. We are the Lord's hands and feet. We recognize when a woman comes in that she has a decision to make. And we also recognize that the Lord has given us all the free will to make our own choices. So we want to meet her in her time of need by providing her the information that she needs to make the best choice for her. We will offer her that ultrasound. 98% of women that receive an ultrasound and can see their baby and hear the heartbeat, they choose life because they make a connection. That speaks truth to her that they may not know when they walk into an abortion facility. We're excited. So we will offer her all of her options, parenting, adoption, and abortion. And we will be there for her to help her navigate that, to give her truth, and to erase her fear so that when she makes her decision, she is making a fully informed decision. She can walk out. We will meet those needs.
So you want me to take it? So this is how, there's a variety of ways you can contact us. On this chart, we have a website. You can mail us at P.O. Box 81. You can find us and like us and give on Facebook. We have a Facebook page. And you can even text give to the number we have up there. And or you could just, we have a My Giving or e-giving site also. The big news is, and so we can actually provide that. We can provide the slides to your pastor. The big news is that we have undergone a totally brand transition. And so if you signed up for the newsletter, you will get the spring newsletter, and it will have our new branding, our new name, and new colors. Everything is new. So we really felt this was important. And as we stand up a medical center, we are going to sound like a medical center because we are a medical center under the direction of a doctor and all our registered nurses. And we're excited to show everybody. So.
Does anyone have any questions for us? We'd love to answer your questions, and if you're not comfortable asking now, we can stay for a few minutes after the church and meet with anyone of you that need.
I'm going to